Thank you for joining us. You're listening to the St. John's Farmers Market Radio Almanac. This is a show about business and market culture in and around St. John's, Newfoundland. This program is produced and recorded at CHMR FM 93.5 FM in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, and is aired on other great stations in the province and elsewhere in the country. It can also be heard online at www.chmr.ca. I'm your host, Matthew Ledrew, owner and operator at Engine Books, the province's fastest growing independent publisher of books.
Okay, welcome to the St. John's Farmers Market Radio Almanac. I could not think of having a better guest slash co-host than the executive director of the St. John's Farmers Market, the wonderful, amazing, and brilliant Pam Anstey.
Well, golly, after an introduction like that, what do I even begin to say?
I know. Pam, was there an early experience where you learned that language had power? So when I ask this of other people, I'm talking about as a writer, but we also use language to communicate at the booth.
Yeah. I'm just not sure what answer I'd give.
Yeah, people puzzle over that one. Yeah.
Well, you kind of need to pause and think about that one for a little bit. What I can tell you is back in grade 8, grade 9, something like that. I wrote a poem. Well, I used to write a lot of poems, but I wrote a poem and I showed it to my English teacher. And they were super excited about it, which I was always really a little bit puzzled by because, I always thought teachers were just encouraging because they had to be. But what they did is they actually turned it into a worksheet for the entire class.
Wow.
Didn't tell them it was my poem, and then had the entire class try to interpret what I had meant, which was quite hilarious to read, I gotta say. But it really made me realize that something that I wrote from my head, that was my experience, could also impact other people as well. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting experience, and really taught me a lot about how my words come across and the impact my words could have to other people, both positive and negative. Some people hated it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how it goes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I had no idea you were a poet. My God, I thought I was the only writer on this show right now. Pam, read reviews of your business, and how do you deal with good ones or bad ones?
So we get people leaving both positive and negative reviews all over the place for the market. We're listed on Google, so people can go in. There's Facebook and Instagram and all the social medias and stuff like that. So from time to time, we get really awesome, glorious things that people are really excited by their visit here. They're really excited by a program or something they participated in, and that is amazing. And then there are times where people are less than complimentary, because that happens no matter how hard you try. And what really frustrates me is when the information that is presented is actually inaccurate.
Yeah.
So somebody will be crabby about something that has zero to do with me whatsoever. And not gonna lie, I like to think that I have a super thick skin, but I totally don't.
Yep.
So I really try to frame it in a perspective, but negativity stings. And sometimes what I remind myself, and sometimes what I remind myself when there's bad press or bad comments or bad whatever, is that we will always take the high ground here.
Yep.
And even though misinformation might exist in the world about what we do and how we do things, I'm going to keep doing things with the utmost of integrity that I can. And, can't see the haters with my love glasses on kind of thing.
Nice. I like that. Can't see the haters with my love glasses on. It sounds like a very long title to a very naughty film from the 70s. Can't see the haters with my love glasses on.
Indeed.
Mhm. So, Pam, what kind of research do you do, and how long do you spend researching before you change something with the farmers market?
Well, the farmers market is a not-for-profit cooperative. So we're not an actual, for-profit business, which means we have a board of directors.
Yep.
We have varying different advisory committees. We have staff, we have volunteers, we have vendors, and we have customers. So there's a lot of different components that go into things. And a lot of the policies that we have been honed and developed over many years now, and probably, initially borrowed from other successful farmers markets.
Sure.
So what happens is if it's operational, the day-to-day operations are done by the staff. We make sure that, the market opens on time and there's vendors and there's whatnot. Plus all the administration, the back end, the paperwork and the invoicing and all of that. When it comes to the big broad direction of where the market goes and what our priorities are, that's definitely board related. And in between that, the committees work on very kind of specific encapsulated bits of that. So we have a newsletter committee that works on putting out, quarterly newsletters. We have, a fundraising and marketing committee that handles a lot of different kind of really cool promo projects and fundraising and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different pieces of it. So it's more than just opening the doors and letting people in, for sure. And there's a lot of people that have spent, golly, countless hours over the years that have really worked to make this place the organization that it is, and help to really establish how we run, and not just, in a loosey-goosey manner, but to really guide how the whole market works.
Nice. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Love it. Pam, have you ever read anything that made you think differently about business or your business? And not just read necessarily, like, or seen anything like that. Has there ever been a light bulb moment where, like, you took in something that changed how you think about business?
I think there's been a lot of light bulb moments. I think working with so many different vendors gives you a really cool perspective on how different people's goals can be for what their business is. For some of the people here, this is their business. This is their entire source of income. This is their career. And recognizing how much time and investment that people have put into that is just enormous. For some people, it's a side gig. So they have another primary position and they do this as a side job, and no less investment and time goes into it, I can assure you, even for folks who are just, who have other things that are happening. And then for some people, they do it more as a hobby, kind of social, share your art, not so much business minded as cooperatively minded, collaboratively minded. Let me go out and engage with people. Let me talk to people. Let me socialize with other vendors. Let me be part of this community. And every bit has a place within the bigger picture, for sure. And, we have some of the most passionate people come through these doors, both on the consumer side and the vendor side, about the creativity side of things, whether it's food or farming, and all the diversity of the crops that our farmers are bringing to the table, or whether it's art or artisan crafts or prepared things. Like, people are putting so much skill and talent into it, and the time that people spend honing their craft, no matter what that craft might be, is really something and is really a beautiful thing.
Love it. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Pam, what is the most difficult part of your process of the, well, for you, the process of helping run the farmers market, but for anyone, what's the most exhausting, hard part of it?
I think sometimes the hardest part of all of this is, well, some of the misinterpretation or the negativity that sometimes can come with people who've not had the experience they wanted to hear. I remember back in the early days of me working here, so this would have been like late 2018, I remember seeing online someone absolutely losing their head and berating us so deeply that we didn't have fresh fruit in December. And I'm like, okay, so let's pause and reflect on this for a second because this is Newfoundland.
If you want it to be fresh and local, it's not going to be in December.
Exactly, right? So it can be really challenging keeping my mouth shut sometimes about things that are not accurate. But ultimately, I realize that a lot of times people the people complaining have never actually been here and don't really know us all that well.
Yeah.
And we are super duper open to comments and changes and criticisms and things like that. We've changed tons of things based on feedback. So, we're definitely open to that. But I think the other really difficult bit that kind of makes me a little bit sad sometimes is if we've had a particularly slow day and vendors are going home with a lot of product that I know is going to be wasted, especially, prepared product, hot food, cupcakes, that kind of thing. And I'm just so sad because they have super duper awesome stuff. And but that's business, unfortunately. That's kind of the gamble of business sometimes.
It is. I'm extremely blessed in having a product that does not go bad. I don't, and sometimes I envy the food members because I'm like, oh man, you have a product that if people like it, like if people like one of my books, they might buy it, and they might take a month or two or more to read it, and before they come back for another one, if they come back, they might be like, I loved your book. I'll never read another one, but good job, even if they liked it. And I'm like, curses, you know what I mean? But like the food vendors have this thing where it's like, I liked your sandwich. I'm going to come back every week and get a sandwich. And it's like, yes, you've got a return customer. That's awesome. But so sometimes I envy that, but I don't envy having a product that spoils. It's the yin and yang of that, you
Yep,
know?
it definitely is.
Yep. Pam, if you didn't do this, what, like your position at the farmers market,
Hmm.
what would you be doing to scratch the same itch that this scratches?
I have done some flavor of community development since since my very first job, really. So I'd be doing something in community development nonprofit, because I think that that's where really big change can happen. And it doesn't have to be, outlandish and over the top to affect real change. I think that sometimes real change is very subtle and working together and calling people in as opposed to, marching in the streets, although there's places for both. So yeah, I'd still be, the community development nonprofit person because that's who I am. Um, yeah, that's exactly what I'd be doing.
Yep.
Although when I was younger, in kindergarten, you know how they ask, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yep.
I always told people I wanted to be the Easter Bunny. So there's that.
The Easter Bunny.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to be the Easter Bunny, and it's so that could be my retirement career, I suppose.
Do you dress up as one for the Easter market? Oh, you should.
I
Come
never
on.
have.
Oh, we gotta do that. That's gotta be in the bylaws or something. Every April, Pam must dress as an Easter bunny for the
Must
entire
dress as
month,
Easter Bunny.
for the whole
Mm.
month. Not just at the market, everywhere. And she has to hop. Pam, what is something that you love that, okay, first of all, this is a deal with the devil question. This is
Mhm.
definitely that. Let's say a demon of some sort has appeared to you and has said,
Mhm.
offered you, I can make you a very successful business person, but you must give up something you love. You can be as successful as you want to be or get whatever goal you want, but you must give up something you genuinely love. What are you giving up?
I don't know how to answer that.
You'd be shocked the amount of authors that say they're children.
Oh my goodness, no. Um, I'm going to answer in a very probably unsatisfying way in saying I like where I am
Yeah.
right now, and I like, you know, we could all use a bit more money, but I am very fortunate to be where I am. And I feel very, privileged to be in this role. So I ain't giving nothing up. I'm keeping it all.
So many
And I'll
people, I've had so many authors on the my sister show, Right Project, lately, giving very like, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna. One person said, "Not today, Satan," and like, I was like, my God, like, dear Lord, people. All right, fine. Like, so many healthy, stable people, so angry. Um, Ham, what is the strangest or funniest experience you've ever had at the market?
the most gloriously peculiar experience. I think this falls under other duties as assigned. Um, some time ago now, I was out on the market floor and someone came up to me rather distressed and said that they had tossed out their dentures into one of our garbage bins. And so they knew which one it was. So I proceeded to glove up and treasure hunt in a garbage bin full of, scraped off rice bits and sandwich bits and whatever, and dig down through to find some dentures. And I was successful. I found them and I'm very pleased.
Great. Okay. 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 That's pretty good. Yep. All
Yep.
right. All right. I like it. If you could tell your younger business person self any one thing, what would it be?
I think it would have to be don't fail out of university um, the first time.
Okay.
So I'm one of those professional student types. So I calculated up a while ago the number of years I've been in some sort of formalized education, and it'll age me a fair bit, but right now it's like somewhere around 40 years because I just keep doing stuff. Um, but it would be going back to the first time I went to university and partied way too hard and didn't focus and failed out of a perfectly good opportunity, which
Mm,
was a wonderful learning experience, but really kind of threw me off track. So that would be my advice to my younger self. But yeah, I try not to, you know, dwell on things that I can't change, really.
okay. Yeah, that's makes perfect sense. Pam, what is your work kryptonite? If you are trying to work and this thing happens, the work is over now and that's it. Like, what's the thing that can just stop everything in its tracks?
Shiny things.
Shiny.
Um, I can get really distracted if there are other things happening and other interesting things that I want to be part of. So much like a crow, it doesn't take much to tow my attention away to other things sometimes. So I kind of have to sequester myself in my office and hide away and do the things that I need to do. So that's my kryptonite.
Okay. All right.
That and a good cream puff.
Good. Okay.
Oh, golly, yes.
Okay. All right. All right. I like it. Pam, as a business person or person that works at the farmers market, if magic was real and there was a magic spell, there was a cauldron in front of you, like a witch's cauldron, and you took the part of you that works at the farmers market, put it into the cauldron, and an animal popped out of it, made up of your work life, what animal would that be?
Oh, Matthew,
Yeah.
what kind of a question is that? So first off, correction, magic is real.
Oh, I'm very
So, let's get that sorted right off the get-go.
okay.
If I took my market experience and stuffed it in a cauldron and an animal popped out, you know what? It would probably be some sort of kitty cat.
Okay.
And here's why.
All right.
Because I can be really laid back when I need to be.
Can you?
I totally can.
Okay.
Yep. I swear to God, it does happen.
All right.
Really vigilant, and I can be really friendly. And if I need to be, I can be a hissy cat. So that's I have to wear a lot of hats here. So sometimes you have to be kind of multifaceted in order to be able to navigate it all. But
yeah, for sure.
Most of the times I'm like the mellow kitty cat that's just kind of going around rubbing against things.
All right. All right. All right. What does success look like for you? So with other business people, I'll ask what success in their business looks like for them right now. Like what goal are they striving towards? With you, I'll ask what does success with the farmers market right now look like to you?
I think success looks like everybody being able to come here and find something that speaks to them. And vendors being able to come here and find a conduit to where they want to grow their business, or if they want to grow their business. For some people, that might just mean selling more. For others, it might be, this is the stepping stone on the way to opening up their own restaurant or whatnot. But yeah, success for me would be the dual side of it, because we kind of work in dualities here a lot. Vendor, consumer, community, volunteer, staff, board, there's a lot of different components. So I think it's all about people being able to think of this place as a safe and happy space, as a community space, and for us to continue to be able to offer to the broader community a real glimpse to the richness and diversity that this city has become. So yeah, helping people achieve what they want to achieve, I guess, is what success looks like for me.
Okay. Excellent. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love that answer. All right. So the first one is Pam. If you were trapped on a desert island, what 3 books or movies would you want with you?
Oh, Matthew.
Yep.
Okay, let me think. Because I'm really bad with like titles and stuff, so I'm gonna try to answer this as best I can.
Okay.
The best 3 movies that I would like to have with me, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay. Interesting.
because it would make me just giggle with delight every single time.
I've never seen it.
What?
I know, everyone.
Oh
No.
my goodness. We have to have a Rocky Horror Picture Show watching party then.
Okay. When the pandemic's over, absolutely.
Halloween.
All right.
I'm gonna use two other trilogies, maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay.
Even though that's 3 movies and not one. And I don't know. Something really old, I would suspect. I like super old movies.
Okay.
So yeah, anything with Peter Lorre in it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm good to go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll put that down.
No, I have one. I have one because I want people to know this one.
Okay.
There's this really older movie, not old, but it's like from the 80s. And it's not in English.
Okay.
It's called Spoorloos, Spoorloos. It is either, I want to say, Norwegian or Swedish or something like that. It is available fully on YouTube, so you can watch it. It is also the most atmospheric, creepy movie. No jump starts, no gore, no nothing like that. But it is such a awesome movie to mess with your mind. There were American remakes done of it called The Vanishing, which people may or may not have seen, but this is the original, and it is magnitudes better than the remake. So yeah, go watch it because you can find it for free too.
All right, I sure will. Does working at the St. John's Farmers Market energize you or does it exhaust you?
Both.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, both. They're hard physical days. I mean, they're hard emotional days some days. If everything's going right on the floor, it means that there's a lot of work going into coordinating and the logistics and all of the things that are happening behind the scenes. There's so much work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody ever sees, and that's exactly how it should be. What I want people to do is to be able to come to the market, walk in, and it's like this wonderful, glorious place. Even if things are going horribly wrong, as long as out front and the experience of people coming in is a good one. So, like any business, and ultimately we are a business, some days are really good. Some days there's a lot of complications, shall we say. So some days are harder than others, but back when I came here, one of the things I would tell people is this is my happy place. Like, this is where you can stand in the middle of the market or sit in the cafe and just be, and really feel the energy and all of the positive vibes that are happening all around you. So yeah, my answer is, both.
Okay, I like that answer. Pam, if you were a jam, what kind of jam would you be?
I would be Jumbleberry.
What's Jumbleberry? I've never even heard of that.
It is where you take all the little leftover bits of berries that you have that weren't enough to make a full batch, and you kind of put them all in together and you make like a mixed berry Jumbleberry. Because I have a little bit of everything. With regards to, my multiple hats that I wear and the multiple things that I like and everything like that.
Well, Pam, thank you so much for coming on the St. John's Farmers Market Radio Almanac, or the SJFM Radio Almanac. We might have to figure it a way for me to say that more easily when things come down. Buy local, everyone out there listening. We will hopefully see you this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Farmers Market, and we will all be there. Make sure and say hi to Pam. Make sure and say hi to me and all the other vendors that are there. But thank you for coming on, Pam. I hope to have you on a bunch of times, especially after like the new year and the AGM if the show continues, and give us kind of year in review updates kind of thing.
Would love to. That would be super exciting because there's always stuff going on here. So yeah, this has been super fun, and I can't wait for people to learn all about the folks that call this place home. So it's great.
Awesome. Thank you much.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on again. For all of you listening, we'll be here the same time next week to talk more about business culture in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. Be sure to drop by and visit our guests and all the other vendors at the St. John's Farmers Market this week.